What?
What?
What the hell is this?
Harumph. I didn't get a harumph out of that guy.
Give the governor harumph.
Harumph!
You watch your ass.
I see you shiver with anticipation.
Let the show begin.
Hey everybody, this is David Heretic coming at you with another edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. And tonight... Okay, making their debut on the channel tonight, we have Between the Buried and Me. Yes, indeed. How about that? Between the Buried and Me making their debut on the channel. This comes as a request from, I hope it's Abel, Abel Cifuentes. And Abel wanted to see me react to this song by Between the Buried and Me called Lay Your Ghosts to Rest. Now, have I heard the song before? No, I have not. To the best of my knowledge, this does not resonate with me in any way, shape, or form. However, there's always a possibility I may have heard the song in passing and I just don't realize it. So as always, if I start listening to the song and I suddenly go, wait a second, I recognize this song, I'll let you know.
That's the truth.
You know me, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. This was posted by Metal Blade Records, okay? And the video has 190,561 views. It'll get you there. Other than that, there's really nothing else left to say. Link to the original video will be down below in the video description for your viewing pleasure at your leisure. Let's get started. What do you say? Are you ready? Are you ready? Because here we go. All right, here we go. Between the Buried and Me, Lay Your Ghosts to Rest. Official video. Wah, wah, wah. Look, I'm not saying the video is going to get blocked, okay? I'm not saying that. But whenever you have a video that has the word official, like this one does, doesn't matter what it is, official video, official audio, official live video, official lyric video, official music video, doesn't matter what it is, but if you have the word official in there, and you're getting it off either the band's official page or worse, the record label's page, then the chances, the odds that this video is going to get blocked are going to be slightly higher. Okay, now I'm not saying it's going to get blocked, but I'm saying the odds are a little bit higher that it just might get blocked. So if it does get blocked, don't be surprised. All right, let's do this.
All right, boy, let's do this.
Okay. Whew. The entire beginning was pretty much in 7. I felt like there was a measure of 4/4 in there somewhere. I think it was after the first vocal break. I think we had like 2 measures of 4/4 and then went right back into 7/8 again. Now we're in this like halftime 4/4 feel. So that's good. That's good. I really hope this is not one of those songs that has like 50 time signature changes. I really hope it's not. I'm all in favor of complex counting. I am. But complex counting, like, I'll use Tool as a perfect example. One of the main reasons I dig Tool is they do write songs in weird time signatures. They do. But for the most part, they stick with one time signature. So, like, they'll write a song in, let's say, 22/8. Okay? Let's just use that as a weird example. So they'll write a song in 22/8, right? 95% of the song is in 22/8. Now, they may change for, like, the bridge. They may switch it up to, like, 6/8 or go to 4/4 or something like that. But then after a few measures, like after about, 8 measures, 12 measures, 16 measures, whatever the case may be, they go right back into the original groove, which was 22/8, whatever the case may be. So you have the opportunity to groove there. You have the opportunity to establish the groove and really get into it. When you're switching time signatures every 4 measures or every 2 measures, it's good luck getting into the groove, man. The only way you can get into the groove is if you know the song. Like, if you know the song like the back of your hand, you've listened to the song 50 times and you know exactly where every single time signature change happens, then yeah, you can get into it. But like for a first-time listener like myself, if there's like, seriously, if there's like, 40 or 50 time signature changes throughout the entire song, they're switching time signatures every 4 measures, you don't have enough time to figure it out and get into the groove, man. It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible. So I really hope this isn't one of those songs. I don't mind the time signature changes as long as you, seriously, give me like 16, hell, forget 16. Give me 8 measures. Give me 8 measures of each one, and I'll be okay, But if it's 2 measures or 4 measures or, hell, 1 measure, that's the worst. I'm going to have a real hard time getting into this. So I'm really hoping it's not the case. We'll find out. Let's keep going. switching between 7/8, 4/4, 5/8, back to 7/8, back to 5/8. No, back to 4/4, back to 5/8. It's this is what I was afraid of. This is what I was afraid of. I can't get into this. I'm trying, man. I am trying my hardest to get into this, but the time signature changes are just happening way too fast. I can't get into the groove. Just as I start to figure out where we're at, they switch to the next time signature, and not to scramble and try to find this one. And it's like, oh God. Look, I give them all the credit in the world for having the ability and the talent and the mathematical skill to be able to write a song with so many different time signature changes. I give them all the credit in the world. It takes a lot of talent to do it. Look at Dream Theater. They made a career out of doing this, okay? So, look at Spock's Beard. Look at Planet X. Look at Liquid Tension Experiment. Look at all these prog rock bands who have made tremendous careers out of doing this, okay? So look, I am not knocking the talent, okay? The talent is there, but you're sacrificing groove and feel for technicality. This kind of song will appeal to a certain fan base. It absolutely will. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. But those of us that are not fans of these guys, how are we supposed to become fans when we can't relate to the music, when we can't groove to the song, when we can't find the tempo? I'm not saying don't write songs in complex time. Hell, write songs in 27/16 for all I care. Go right ahead. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to write a song in 27/16, then write the song in 27/16. Don't sit there and do 27/16 for 4 measures, go to 4/4 for 8 measures, go to 3/8 for 2, 5/8 for 2, and then to 7/8 for 6, back to 3/8 for another 2, and then back into 27/16, and then switch to 22/8 for 2 measures. That gets to be extremely confusing. And for some people like me who rely on counting to enjoy music, it's frustrating. It's beyond frustrating. Now, I am sure that if I were to listen to this song 50 times, 60 times, 100 times, and I was able to map it out, much like I did with the Dance of Eternity from Dream Theater, where we literally, 4 of us sat there for 3 months figuring this out, hammering it out until we got every single measure counted. Only then was I really able to sit back and listen to the song and really appreciate it. That is what I would have to do with a song like this. I would need to listen to this 50, 60, 80, 100 times to really know where each time signature change happens, and then I can enjoy it. But until then, all I'm going to be doing right now is scratching my head and wondering where the next one's going to happen. It's frustrating, it's infuriating, and unfortunately, that leads to me not enjoying the song, which is a shame because I see a ton of potential in this song for me to enjoy it. Anyway, let's keep going.
Get
Okay, let's take a look at what just happened there. Okay, we were in 4-4, and we were in 4-4 for a while, right? After about 8 measures, right? What happened? What happened? Did you watch what I started doing? I started doing this. I started getting into the groove because I found the 4-4, I established it, and now I can have an opportunity to get into it. And here's the good thing. They stayed with 4-4 for a while. They stayed with it for a long time, actually. Now they transitioned to 6-8. Now, transition from 4-4 to 6-8 is actually a pretty easy transition. It's not hard at all. So, making that transition fairly easily, fairly smoothly, I'm already into the groove. And they've done the 6-8 for, I mean, I'm sure they're going to do it for a while, but they're going to be here for probably quite a bit, I'm willing to bet. So, again, that gives me a chance to get into the groove. See, this I'm fine with. This I'm okay with. It's when you're, seriously, every 2 measures, every 4 measures, it's too much. This is good. I'm okay with this part. Let me back up a little bit more. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Wait. Okay. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Okay. All right, so it's 3 measures of 6-8 with a measure of 7-8. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with it because it's an established pattern. It's there, okay? It took me a couple times to figure it out, but again, once I figured it out and now we're grooving along to it, we haven't changed. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm okay with this. I'm enjoying this part. So there we go. Good thing. Must regroup myself. 6, 1, 2, Now we're in 7-4. No problem. I'm good with that. We have done 7-4 for 8 measures now, right? Great. I'm in the groove. I'm feeling it. I'm enjoying it. Why? Length of time. I'm okay with this. Back it up a bit. We don't need credits. This was a journey, all right. In more ways than one. Boy, let me think about this. I'll see you in the review. We'll trust me. We're gonna talk about this. Well, there you go, folks. That was Between the Buried and Me with a tune called Lay Your Ghost to Rest. This was a request from Abel Cifuentes. Okay, I thought about this, and I kind of had to cut this into two halves. So I'm really hoping the score, you know, I have a feeling once I explain everything, the score is going to make a whole lot more sense. But you'll see what I mean. I promise. You'll see what I mean when I go into my explanation. On a scale of 1 to 10, I am going to give that an 8.8. Yep, 8.8. I feel good about that score. Let me tell you why.
Why?
Okay. I basically had to cut this song into two halves. The first half and the second half. Now, the first half, let's talk about it. Overly complicated, if you ask me. Way too many time signature changes happening way too quickly and not really giving anybody a chance to really get into the groove because they were seriously changing time signatures every 4 measures or every 6 measures, not really giving the groove a chance to get established. Unless you know the song forwards and backwards, like the back of your hand, and you know when we're making that switch to 7/8 to 4/4, and then out of 4/4 into 5/8, and then from 5/8 back to 7/8. If you know where the time signature changes are happening, then of course it's a lot easier to enjoy. But for someone like me, who's listened to the song for the first time, very hard to follow, very difficult to get into, and as a result, can't get into the groove. So that was a little lackluster, and it was a bit of a letdown if I'm being honest here. The musicianship, well, I'll tackle musicianship in a little bit. Honestly, I would give the first half about an 8.4. It's impressive. Yes, it's impressive. It takes a lot of talent and a lot of patience and a lot of effort to be able to write a song like this. Trust me, I know. But at the same time, if you're focusing so much on technicality, so much on trying to be impressive, so much on whipping out your theory out of your pants, there it is, check that out, well then guess what? You're gonna alienate a lot of people who may be looking at your band for the first time. So if the entire song was like that, I'm serious, I'd be looking at about an 8.4 for the entire song. I wasn't too thrilled with that first half, if I'm being honest. Yeah, like I said, it's impressive. Yeah, sure. Takes a lot of talent. Yeah, sure. It takes a lot of ability to write songs that are as complex as that is. Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And I give them all the credit in the world for having that kind of a talent, for having that kind of patience, for having that kind of ability. Absolutely. But at the same time, how are the average Joe like myself supposed to get into it and become a fan? You see the conundrum here, right? I mean, yeah, great. You whipped out your theory right out of your pants. Great job. Here it comes. Ugh. There it is. Check that out. Yeah, great. Wonderful. You know, that's wonderful. So why the 8.8 then? Let's talk about the second half of the song, where they were not changing time signatures every 4 measures. They instead took a completely different direction with the second half, and they focused more on the groove. Now, did they still change time signatures? Yes, they did. They did change time signatures. Every 16 measures, every 24 measures, every 32 measures, they found the groove. I was able to find the groove within 4 measures, and then I could actually lay back and enjoy it for a while. And then when they did switch, I was able to find the groove. Again, within the first 2 to 4 measures, I found the groove, and I was able to sit back, relax, and enjoy the groove for a while. Even with the pattern where they were doing 6/8, 6/8, 6/8, 7/8, it's still a pattern. Now, it took me a while to find that pattern. It took me 2 times through. So it took me 8 measures to find it. But once I found it, I was able to lock into it, and I was like, okay. And the good news is they stuck with it for quite a while. So I was able to enjoy that groove, as weird as it was. 3 measures of 6/8 and a measure of 7/8. 3 measures of 6/8 and a measure of 7/8. It was still a pattern. It was still an established pattern. It became a phrase, and I was fine with the phrasing. The second half of the song, I would give a 9.2 all day long to that second half. If the entire song had been written with that mentality, that type of songwriting, that type of dedication to groove, I would have had a much easier time enjoying the song, and as a result, 9.2 all day long. The talent still being shown off, the ability still being shown off, but now I'm able to sit back as a first-time listener, really enjoy it, and they can earn my fandom, which isn't that the goal of songwriting, is to earn those fans? Or is the goal of songwriting to show off your songwriting chops? Different people have different goals. I'm well aware of this, but for the sake of growing your band, growing your brand, and making yourselves as big as possible, as popular as possible, as accessible to as many different people as possible, don't you think maybe the first one might be a little bit better? I mean, like, I know there's going to be those people like, well, they're dedicated to the crafts, they're artists, and they don't want to sacrifice, and they don't want to compromise. Okay, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Be prepared to stay somewhat small, because you're going to be writing your songs for a small niche of people who are into that. The prog rockers, you're gonna really attract them. If I had heard this song 20 years ago, we'd be having a different conversation. I would say this song was absolutely brilliant, but I'm not so much into the prog rock now. I'm much more into the groove and into the counting and into the feel of the song now. So, it's different times. It is different times. But I would give the second half of the song, like I said, 9.2. So here we go. 8.4, right? 9.2, right? You combine those together. What do you get? Would you like a calculator? I'll make it simple for you. You get 17.6. 17.6, divide that by 2. What do you get? 8.8. It averages out. The musicianship throughout was fantastic. It was absolutely fantastic. Guitars sounded really nice. I liked the tone that they were getting. I was really impressed with the bass player, with all those unison lines that he was throwing in, and yet maintaining the bottom end. How? Very simple. When he's going with that melodic line, he's doing those unison lines. As soon as he's done doing the unison line, what does he do? Reestablishes the root. Even if it's just for a single note or two, or even just a half note, hold it for a half note and then back into the next melodic line. He still comes back and reestablishes the root note, which is so important. Very well done, his part. Very tasteful playing. I dug the bass player. Drumming was tight. Drumming sounded good. Some great fills from him, but locked in and never getting carried away, which was a good thing to see. The keyboardist / lead vocalist did a great job with the keyboard, filling out the sound. That was good, especially when the guitar players and the bass player would go on their unison riffs and their unison lines. The keyboardist was there to fill out the sound and keep the song full, which was very important. Vocally, I dug it. I love that hybrid of grit and growl, melodic singing. Grit and growl, melodic singing, very much like Soilwork does, where it's the same guy, and it's the same guy here too, doing both, but taking the time to do the grit and growl for a little while, and then in the next phrase of the song, whatever the next part of the song might be, whether it be pre-chorus or chorus, now he switches up to melodic singing. And he maintains through the entire part until he gets back into the verse, and then he goes back into the grit and growl again. I really enjoy that style of singing. I do, man. It's one of the reasons why Soilwork is one of my top bands, man. I'm a big Soilwork fan for that reason alone, because of the vocal ability and the vocal stylization. And this band had a very similar stylization when it came to their vocals. Dug the harmonies too whenever they came in. They didn't come in very often, but when I did hear the harmonies, they sounded really good. So, look, 8.8 for your first time out is a great score. I mean, 8.8 is a great score regardless. Anything in the 8s is great. This is getting an 8.8. It's up at the top of the great grading scale. So that's a great job, guys. No pun intended, but that's a fantastic job for your first time out on the channel. I would not mind hearing more from these guys. I think this is the only request in the queue that I had from them, though. I'm not sure if there's anything else there. But, I mean, I'll look again after I'm done filming today. I'll take a look in the queue and see if there's anything else. If you guys want to request more from them, feel free to. You're more than welcome to. If I look in the queue and nothing's there and nobody makes any requests and a couple weeks go by, well, I'm just going to say forget it, and I'm just going to go look at them on my own. I have a feeling this is going to be one of those songs, though, that if I listen to it, like I said, 30, 40, 50 times, and I figure out where all those time signature changes happen, I have a feeling I'm going to enjoy the first half a lot more than I did. But I can only base my score on the first listen. So that's unfortunate, but, you know, at the same time, an 8.8, nothing is absolutely no score to sneeze at. So, 8.8, final score, I have spoken. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Reactions, Reviews, and Rants. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Hopefully I was able to entertain you. If I was able to put a smile on your face and brighten your day, then I did my job, and I'm so glad I could do it. If you guys feel like joining the fan base, go ahead and click on that button down there. If you guys want to like the video, go ahead and like the video. If you guys want to ring the bell, go ahead and ring the bell. It honestly doesn't make any difference at all to me, but if you guys feel like doing these things, then by all means, feel free to do so. Well, that's going to do it for tonight, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, this is David Heretic signing off, reminding you to stay fabulous and support each other. Later. Peace.